Hello and welcome to Business Point on Global Television, where we x-ray Nigeria's economy, government policies, tech, and innovation. I'm Queen Agaba. And today on the program, we're discussing and taking a look at Nigeria's economy, insecurity in Nigeria, and the effect on agro businesses in Nigeria. My guest on the program is Victor Atta, who is an economic analyst and a farmer, joining me to delve deep into this very topical issue this morning. Good morning, Victor.
Good morning, Queen. It's nice being with you too.
Morning.
And this morning,
to have you on the program.
How you doing?
I'm very well. Now, talk to me. You are a farmer, and also, you understand the business of agriculture in the country. Can you let us into what it's like, especially with the prevalence of insecurity in this present day and time?
All right. Thank you so much. It's quite a very unfortunate situation we are having in our country as a result of insecurity. And I want to say that the most heated in this issue of insecurity is the farmers. Every day is on the news that there are a series of attacks on farmers. Maybe perhaps people call it the farmers and herders clash, but I don't believe that. I believe it's insecurity, and insecurity is always insecurity. So the most heated are farmers, and it has a rapid effect on our economy, seeing us as a nation that is underdeveloped or a developing economy. So it is a very big issue with us.
Now, you made mention, because we hear that the issues are for herders and farmers clashing together. But you say that it is not just a clash. Can you let us into this development?
Okay. So in total, currently we can say that a total of maybe more than 3.6 million people in Nigeria have been displaced, and large number, like 90% of these displaced persons are farmers. So when we say something is a clash between farmers and herders, it means there should be, these herders should have a definite location, like let's say a communal crisis. But what I say is insecurity, act of terrorism and the rest, because many of the attacks are coming from people, coming from group sets that you cannot point at their geographical location. You see farmers in their farmland suddenly got attacked, and most of them being sacked from their ancestral home because of the attack from these criminal elements that are masquerading as herders. So that's why I say it's far from being a farmer and herder crash, but an act of terrorism as a result of insecurity in the nation.
Now, how has this menace, insecurity, how has it affected businesses, agri-businesses in the country? Talk about the value chain, production, supply, logistics, and all of that. What are the intricacies?
Okay, and now we ask ourselves these questions. The people that constitute majority of the workforce or an active players in the agricultural sectors are those farmers. We are a developing nation that consistently depends on agriculture. So by the time these farmers that are supposed to be in their farmlands are under attacks and sacked from their ancestral homes and their farmland, don't you think the effect, or can you imagine the effect on the economy of the nation? Like, for instance, let's talk about maybe in Benue State, for instance. So we have thousands of people that have been sacked, or farmers that have been sacked from their ancestral homeland. See, these people constitute majority of the agricultural produce that is being exported from Benue State to outside the state. Now, like Benue, it is said that Benue is the largest producer of tubers, like cassava, yam, and the rest. But now, when you look at the number of these produce that are coming from Benue State, in the past 1 decade, you will see that there is a, a decline in the supply. And can you imagine the effects of this on the nation? So this has drastically affected the value chain system.
Now let's talk about
Yeah.
Clearly talking about value chain system. I'll talk about the
Yeah.
supply, logistics. A few months
Okay.
ago, we saw where a truck carrying food, some northern part of the country, was attacked by hoodlum. Now, not necessarily people that we do not know. We can categorically mention them or call them street boys because of the inflation rate and the hardship currently in the country. How has this degenerated so far, and what can be done about it? Because now it goes beyond the fact that the farmers are being attacked in their farmland, and obviously this affects the production and the value chain of agriculture. It now goes to when these products leave the farms, are on their way, the logistic aspect to the various destinations, they are now being attacked, not necessarily by in the
All
streets, on the
right.
highways, because of economic hardship. Make it make sense.
All right. So, there is a popular saying in Nigeria that a hungry man is an angry man. So, what do you expect when there is food crisis in the nation? What do you expect when people are hungry? What do you expect when people lose hope? Because if you are a farmer, you cannot walk comfortably to your farm. You cannot go back to your businesses. So what do you expect from people? These people that are hungry in town, they have to be, they are giving it back to the society by attacking because they think we are no longer safe. Supply is low as a result of crisis. Support our security, our life, if not, life is at danger. We cannot go to our farms. What do you expect to do? You see, an increase in such this ugly situation. One of it is responsibility of with the country. So, can you repeat the question, please?
Okay, hear me. Victor, can you hear
So,
me?
can you repeat because yes, I can hear you.
I think we have a bit of challenge hearing you. The network is fluctuating. Maybe you try to, reconnect again so that we can hear you clearly. Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll take a look at business news, and then hopefully we get reconnected with our guest, Victor Atta, who is a farmer and an economic analyst. Please stay with us. We'll be right back. Many thanks for staying with us. Now, in the world of business, the University College Hospital Ibadan, Oyo State, has admitted that it owes the Ibadan electricity up to 495 million naira, for which reason the teaching hospital was disconnected from public power supply. UCH Public Relations Officer Fumilayo Adetuyibi confirmed in an interview that the hospital's electricity debt was over 400 million naira, contrary to her initial claim. This was as doctors, nurses, and other staff of the hospital refused to work beyond 4 p.m. unless power is reconnected. Given reasons for the disconnection, the Ibadan Disco said it disconnected the hospital after attempts to engage with the hospital's management regarding the 495 million naira debt, which it said had persisted for over 6 years. There was palpable tension in some parts of Lagos on Monday as a number of fuel stations were shut over supply disruptions. In Akonjo Egbeda Igando axis, it was observed that many fuel outlets were short and that mobile filling stations along the Kotuni-Dumu Road and the Odoero axis of the Sherry-Igando Road were dispensing fuel. Also, the two mobile filling stations had long queues along the Egbeda Akonjo axis. It was observed also that only an outlet belonging to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited located on Akonjo Road was dispensing as well. A number of fuel stations along the Mowe-Bafo axis of Ogun State were not selling as of Monday morning. The Naira began the new month on a bullish note, appreciating to 1,278.58 Naira against the United States dollar from 1,309.39 Naira per week. Per dollar, I beg your pardon, recorded last week. This indicates an increase of 30.81 Naira at the close of trading activity. According to data from FMDQ Securities, the indicative exchange rate for the Nigerian autonomous foreign exchange markets closing below the 1,300 Naira ceiling marks, the first instance since January 26th of this year. The Naira depreciated to as low as 1,615 Naira per dollar on March 13th, 2024, since the introduction of a slew of forex policies by the central bank. The Naira has gained over 21% on the dollar since March. I believe we're now connected with Victor Atta. Victor, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you so much.
Yes, I can hear you clearly now.
So can you, all right. Can you repeat the question once again, please?
I can hear you clearly. So I was asking now that there's a prevalence of insecurity in almost all parts and all states of the country. What are the broader implications of this for businesses if this should persist and not nipped in the bud? What becomes of businesses, agro businesses, and literally businesses at large?
All right. Thank you. Yeah, I think I spoke about that earlier, but I want to add to it that when you see insecurity is an issue that is so terrible in the sense that it affects all facets of our nation's economy, from the agricultural sector, educational sectors, and all other aspects. But you see, this issue of insecurity, particularly, should I say, the farmers said that, the attacks on farmers. So now, when you look at the Nigerian economy before now, you see our major importations were agricultural produce. But when there is an insecurity, there is an attack on those farmers, that they are unable to go to farms in order to meet up with the demands. What do you expect? There will be inflation and monetary policy. It will be very difficult for Nigeria to manage this situation, and as a result, you see a fall on our nation economy. So, like I want to state also that when we engage on international trading, you discover you discover things, our commodities that we export, like maybe oil and cocoa, like other agricultural produce. Why exporting those goods? Machineries and vehicles must be put on ground. But then the issue is when you have those machineries on ground to aid those exportation, but then there is an issue of insecurity, and farmers are unable to engage in their agricultural businesses, in their agricultural activities. What do you expect? Policies enough cannot help our economy. So this issue of insecurity is something that must be addressed with all aggressiveness.
Well
So
said.
that's
Now,
the
before we
effect.
go to the
Low
addressing the,
productivity.
please go on.
Yeah.
Please go on.
Yeah. I just wanted to add that as a result, we have low productivity.
Now, before we talk about
Yes.
addressing insecurity, there are a group of
Yeah.
people, group of young Nigerians, not necessarily young, that I am particularly concerned about. I'm talking about the vulnerable population, the less privileged, those that have been displaced, internally displaced persons, and all manners of vulnerable people who are going to be affected by this insecurity. Now, when we have food crisis as a result of the insecurity, definitely these people are going to be affected. What becomes of them? Can we talk about the vulnerable population and what can be done about it? How do you know how to
Okay.
mitigate the effects? We see or we hear and also see efforts by the government to alleviate the hardships on these people. But on the general, what can be done about the vulnerable populations?
Okay. Like I've stated earlier, over 3.6 million persons are displaced in northern Nigeria, and the figures are still counting. So, and majority of those persons that are vulnerable are the children and the women. So now, when you take the total of 3.6 million persons out of the workforce, the agricultural workforce, you should be expecting crisis. And now, these persons that have been displaced, they have been deprived of their means of livelihood. So when a man is jobless, when a man is idle, what do you expect from that man? I think these are questions we should be asking ourselves. What is the fate of these people that have been displaced? If you have ever visited the IDP camps, particularly the ones in Benue, like the ones I've visited, there are a whole lot of things happening there. The government cannot meet their needs. And this person, particularly the young men, the adolescent, they may engage in activities that will draw them to crimes. So in the morning, you expect them to sit at home waiting for the government to bring the little that they can give them to eat. So what will they be doing? These are creative minds, full of energies. But at the end, because of this crisis, they do not have anything to do. They only stay at home, stay at the IDP camps. And the next thing is to engage in other social vices. So places where there is this crisis, we should be on a lookout for increase in crimes and other social vices, like engagement in cultism. You know what the tradition, you know what the narrative is today? So many people are involving in crimes. And these are people that are supposed to be somewhere engaging themselves in their legitimate agricultural activities. Agriculture is not for the poor. Yeah, it's not for the poor. So these people have been deprived. Do not look at them as peasants. They are not. They contribute majorly and hugely to the economic growth and stability in Nigeria. So they have been deprived. There are so many crises, so many devices that they will engage themselves in because I always believe this saying that said an idle man is the devil workshop. So many thoughts, people full of energy, no longer have anything engaging themselves on rather than staying in the IDP camp, playing games, chess, cards, and speaking all manner of dirty languages. So people that are into crime already will come in and promise them a better life if they engage in this crisis. That is why zones where there are crises, zones where there are insecurity, there is always an increase in crime. It's because there will be a system, there will be a time that people will come in and indoctrinate these people. And when they are indoctrinated, I tell you, it's going to take a very difficult time for them to overcome that, to de-radicalize these people. And that is why you see the increase in crimes. So the effect of this is spread across every aspect of our life. People will give up on the government. People will give up on themselves. People that were making legitimate money now do not have the means to make money. They do not have the means to meet their needs. So what do you expect? And there are others that can come with flashy things. Terrorists are empowered. Terrorists have several strategies that they're using indoctrinating these guys. So if the government do not look into this issue to handle the issue of insecurity and to return these people at the IDP camp back to their ancestral home in order to engage in their legitimate businesses, I tell you, Nigeria will go into more crisis in the coming years.
Now,
yes, so this is some of the effects. Yes, I'm hearing you.
Yeah. Now let's.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Before we go over to the outcomes and necessary actions to be taken by the government and relevant stakeholders and agencies, let's look at some of the measures and policies that have been put in place by the government to some sort of alleviate these farmers and local farmers and businesses. And let us also see how effective it has been. I want us to take a look at, for example, we hear of the anchor borrower scheme for farmers so that they can be able to, put it into their agro businesses. But without security to secure these businesses, such efforts are going to be in futility and are going to be futile because you have the resources now, or you have some sort of resource for your farm produce, for your agro businesses. But if it's not secured, it's more like having termites eat into whatever it is you have built. What can be done now? What, as regards, these challenges?
Okay, you see, when you talk about policies of government, I think we should be grateful that we have good policies on ground. But the major problem that we are facing in the country is the lack of willpower to effectively implement these policies. There are brilliant policies. I've been a beneficiaries of some of those skills. Like I was discussing with someone today, I said, I still have some herbicide with me, and this herbicide were delivered to me by the government. I have other things that the government have given to us. But then the problem is we have countless policies in Nigeria to aid agriculture. But the problem is corruption. The problem is the willpower to adequately implement these policies. We have corruptions in the sectors, and this corruption I'm not talking about corruptions among the politicians or the ones that program these policies. I'm talking about the civil service itself. Those that are tasked with the responsibility to carry out these functions, most of them are fantastically corrupt. So it is always putting the government on a bad note. I'm not here to support the government for what they are not doing. No. I am here to state the facts clearly because these are things that are affecting us. I'm an active player in this sector, so I understand what I'm talking about. So those policies, if we have the willpower to effectively implement those policies, is going to help a great deal in our country, and it is going to boost our local productions. So, but particularly, if I'm to answer your question, I think, I think, I think I have to be to be clear on this note. But I have to be clear that the government is trying. True, they are trying. There are good policies like borrowing scale for farmers, but there are people masquerading as farmers that they are not. Their aim is to have access to those facilities and divert it into other things. Maybe to to maybe to their personal projects like building, or even to finance their children education. I'm not saying that is bad, but I am saying that if a program is set up and the aim of the program is to aid local production, let's say production of rice for instance, and such money is being diverted to other aspects, do you know the effect on our economy? That the government with their policy already spelled out that if we're empowering 50,000 farmers that are rice farmer, at the end of the year, we should be having so increase in the production of rice in our country. But then less than 20% of these persons that receive access to this facility will be the one that will implement it. So about the rest percentage, 60% or so is going to be wasted. So at the end, we'll keep blaming the government. So we talk about insecurity. Let's assume in that there are still zones where there are where insecurity have not crept in, and farmers are still engaging in their farming business, even though they are having little issues with livestock attacking or something of that nature. But then, if we put in use, if we put in proper use that the government have put in place to facilitate local production, I think the economy is going to experience another agricultural boom again.
Thank
Did
you.
I do justice to your question? Oh.
Yes, you did. You did. Now let's talk about technology. Yesterday on the program, I had someone talk about the importance of technology, technological tools, despite prevailing challenges of insecurity, especially as regards grassroots farming. This person said that technology can help to some sort of bolster agricultural processes and help build resilience in terms of agriculture and all that. To what extent do you agree with this? Do you think that technology can play a very vital role, at least to an extent, despite the challenges?
Yes, I totally agree with that. See, you see, when I always tell people that there is no issue currently that cannot be solved with technology. So one of the major challenges we are facing right now as a country is lack of properly utilizing or endorsing technological advancement in certain areas. This includes in area of agriculture, where I am an active player also in technology, because I'm a full stack Python developer, and I worked with a company that have technological tools that can help in agriculture. Talking about the New Vision Institute of Technology, we have a lot of tools in place. One of it is a CCTV camera. This CCTV camera can monitor your farm and give you real-time feedback. So in terms of attack, in terms of maybe animals or pests attacking, some of those things can be addressed through your CCTV camera, and you can have real-time engagement with your workers in the farm. but that is on a higher scale. Now, when we talk about when we talk about technology in agriculture, I hope we are not. I hope we also understand that when you see farmers trying to control their farmland, when you see farmer trying to spice up their agricultural activities with pesticide, herbicide, and the rest introduction of those chemicals, I hope you know it's also technological advancement. Because before now, the normal practice have been the clearing of grasses and maybe burning of bushes, which you know that have a rapid effect on our soil. But now with technological advancement, you can use herbicide on your farmland. You can use pesticide. Imagine controlling pests from your farm using a biological method, like the hand picking, maybe brooms and the rest, driving away those pests. You know how rigorous that can be, and you know how ineffective it can be. But with the introduction of pesticide, you can see that you will cover a large measure of your farmland doing same with little manpower. So we cannot take away technology from agriculture. So I am urging active players in the agricultural sector to look for a way to step up the already existing technological aspect of our agriculture, so that we will have more production, we will have a boom in the economy, because the agricultural sector is actually the life wire of this nation. Let's take our focuses from petroleum, from the oil sector. Let's look back to agriculture, how it were before the discovering of oil. But because we are now on advantage, since there are so many advancements in technology, we can deploy even blockchain into agricultural production. But on the local scale, introduction of chemicals, introductions of applications that can even track farmers, applications that can track goods, software that can track goods, no matter the location of the goods. Maybe you are in need of yam. There should be software that can help you, link you with someone, a farmer that sells yam, a farmer that have yam. So it can link you to the farmer, so that the cost, so that there will be increase in effect in production and effectiveness. If I'm a farmer, I don't have to transport my goods to a very far place before I can meet, maybe sleep 2 to 3 days in order to sell my goods. And I can just use my Android phone, and with my data on, I'm connecting to the world, and people that are buyers that are willing to get my goods will come and meet me and get, and I will be happy. At the end, the farmer too, both the buyer and the farmer will all be happy, and it will boost the morale of farmers to do more.
Really, really
Yeah.
well articulated, especially this part where you mentioned that you can have an app technologically so that farmers can be able to market their goods and what they may have to potential buyers from anywhere in the world. But do you think now this to an extent will make ease for doing business, especially from farms directly to the end users or end customers and end buyers? But when you talk about technology, another argument is Nigeria ready in terms of agriculture and technology? How ready are we? What are the few hindrances and the hitches that might be a barrier to
Yeah.
these advancements?
Okay. So the barriers to this is, okay. First, let me answer the question: is Nigeria ready? Yes, we are ready. We are very, very much ready. See, there is a current revolution in Nigeria, and it's a tech revolution. It's a global revolution, but Nigeria is taking the lead currently. Nigeria is taking the lead globally. When you check the number of people that sign up at GitHub from 2023, you will discover that Nigeria is slightly behind Bangladesh, and that is a good one for us. So saying that Nigeria is not ready, I think is wrong to say Nigeria is not ready. We are ready. We are ready. But all that we need is little resources. We need resources to be put in place, little resources in order to aid, because all this readiness are at an individual level. If you ask an average farmer that may not even be educated, if they have an Android phone, I'm talking about peasant farmers in the village. Most of them have an Android phones. Most of them knows the technologies involved in selling off your goods to someone that is no longer that is not at your geographical location. Okay, now when you visit some of the parks, you will see the number of goods being sent in to towns. Some of those things are sent as maybe not to family members, but to buyers, maybe connected to the farmer through a relative that is somewhere outside the shores. So if an individual level, we've been able to achieve this huge success. So talk more when little effort of the government is put in place, and you know what that is going to be for us. It's going to be a boom for our economy. So we are ready, but we still need certain things to be put in place by the government. And if that is done, we will take the lead and
Like
revolutionize agriculture.
Like
Yes.
I mentioned, but what are the side effects? Like what are the downtimes to these technological advancements?
Okay. We have increase in we have cyber security compromise, and we cannot take that out of it. So if you are
Particularly
discussing
for
any,
particularly for
yeah,
most of these farmers who are not literate enough.
yes, yes, they can easily get scammed. That's why I said cyber security compromise. Most of them are not well skilled on, they are not learned on cyber security. So criminals can take advantage of that and defraud them. But should we now say because criminals have the potential of defrauding, there's a tendency that criminals will take advantage of their ignorance and get them scam? Should we now say that we should throw it away? No, no, because not even the best, not even the most sophisticated industry is free from cyber security attack. So cybersecurity attack is a point, but we will not because of that and throw it at the dustbin. No, we will not. What we should do is to increase we should increase awareness on cybersecurity, and we should tell them how these things operate, and even create softwares that are user friendly. We have such software, but I'm not here to market our product. We have a software that we call Ogleji. It connects farmers to buyers. Yes, these are things we have achieved, but it soon is going to be making wave in Nigeria.
And then, no,
Yes.
but you can feel free to tell us about this software and tell us how safe it is. Since we're talking about, cyber security, how safe is this software for farmers that are going to be connected with potential buyers and all?
Okay, yeah. I've always boasted to people that when you see products from the New Vision Institute of Technology, you should be mindful that these are software that is built with the best of security. And if security compromise, chances are just, should I say, in a scale of it's less than 20%. It's less than 20%. This is because we have the best of developers on ground. So talking about Ogleji is a software that is a user-friendly software. It acts like your e-hailing applications, like the Uber app. So this software gives farmers the platform wherein you register as farmer and upload your goods. And the end users of it also have the opportunity to register, and when they are in search of any goods that they needed, when you click on it, farmers that have specific goods, the goods they have, the prices and the locations of the goods are on display. You will reach a negotiation with them, and at the end, after reaching an agreement with them, there is another agent that have the ability to go collect to deliver these goods to you. It will not be the farmer that will be delivering, because of course you don't expect the farmers to go and be delivering those goods. No, we have agents that you register as agents, and these agents are regulated by the company. They go about receiving these goods and delivering it to the buyers. But let me assure you one thing about these goods: it have real-time tracking. It tracks the locations of your goods per time. So even if you do not have internet connection, we make use of an SMS. It gives send real-time updates through SMS in case of farmers that may not have access to internet network at that particular time. So it's a revolution for for agriculture in Nigeria. And very soon, is going to be massively deployed. And I tell you, your local farmers in the villages will have access to it, and it's going to bring multi-million naira into them with just little effort. All the farmer needs is continue your farming activities. There are mechanisms, there are mechanisms on ground that will come pick your goods. You negotiate online the price you want. They are coming to collect these goods and deliver it to the buyers.
And hopefully other apps like this or other softwares and developments like this are initiated to, help farmers connect better with potential buyers. Now, away from insecurity, just quickly, let's talk about electricity and post-farming activities. When most of these products are moved from the farm, storage becomes an issue, and especially as regards, the issue of electricity. What can be done about this? Can you let us in, being that you're a farmer? How has it been, especially with storage for perishables and also for non-perishables?
All right. It's always been an issue with perishable goods, and it is so peculiar with us. There are spectrums of cases that we have the owners of those goods suing companies, transportation companies, as a result of maybe delay that lead to the perishing of their perishable goods. So it's a big issue. It's been on for so long. Yeah. Yesterday I was asking a question. I was asking someone. I said, now we have let's say onions, for instance. It's fairly very cheap right now, right? Compared to December's and the rest. I know, like, is there a way we can save this? Is there a way we can store this so that we will be able to overcome the crisis when it's scarce? And then I have not seen what to do concerning that, but I know soon there will be solution to that effect. So electricity is a very vital role that we cannot take out of any of our discussion when talking about economy. So whether players in the agricultural sectors.
Okay, I think we have a bit of a network challenge there. Victor, can you hear me? Hopefully he gets reconnected with us. Let's just go over to the business news. The Naira began the new month on a bullish note, appreciating to 1,278.58 against the United States dollar from 1,309.39 Naira per dollar recorded last week. Now, this indicates an increase of 30.81 Naira at the close of trading activity. I believe we're now connected with Victor Atta.
I am sorry. It's one of the issues we face in Nigeria, poor network connection. So,
just talking about electricity connection. And now poor network.
Yeah. So electricity is very vital. So farmers that are into goods that they have to store them using electricity. There are some goods that you need electricity. You cannot do without electricity. So those farmers are on disadvantage. So how, for instance, if I am a a trader and I'm trading on perishable goods, you know what it means? Take fish for instance. After harvesting my fish from my farm, and I'm unable to sell those fish at that particular moment, I have to refrigerate the fish and the fish. But then, if there's no electricity, I'll be on a loss. So people spend more money in getting diesel, and you know how expensive diesel is in order to in order to power those stuffs. So it's a big challenge. It's a big challenge. But I tell you, there are some zones in Nigeria that I can say that in terms of electricity, they are trying. But we need the government to put more effort in order for farmers to have smooth businesses running and effectively with the help of electricity and the rest of those amenities that is needed for smooth businesses.
Mm. Many thanks, Victor Acha, for your time and for discussing the intricacies and security challenges and its effect on Nigeria's economy and agro businesses.
It is a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you so much.
And now, lastly, on business news, the Nigerian Automotive Industry Development Plan Implementation Committee will address the challenge of resilience on imported vehicles in the country. The Director General of the National Automotive Design and Development Council, Joseph Osanikpe, made this disclosure in a statement. The Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Nkirika Uzoka-Anite, inaugurated the committee with membership from relevant federal ministries and agencies of the government in Abuja. Osanikpe said the new auto policy NAIDP 2003 was signed in the year 2023 with the sole aim of curtailing Nigeria's almost total dependence on import of automobiles. According to Osanikpe, the implementation would meet a significant proportion of demand through domestic production of vehicles and components. And that's it on Business Point, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Don't forget, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on our social media platforms using @GlobalTVNG and other handles now showing on your screen. Have a beautiful day ahead. I'm Queen Agaba.